My name is Jeanne. I'm a member of PCTR, and I have a story to tell about this tree from quite a few years ago. A few years back, my father passed away suddenly. My mother passed away less than a year after that, and a couple months after that, Sandy hit their house and put 4 feet of water in it. My family and I all worked together to raise the house, to sell the house, but it was a very, very stressful and upsetting couple years. I went through a very, very depressed time in my life. I looked forward to when my family would leave the house and I could stay home from work that day so I could just sit and cry. I was just totally depressed. Even though I had a family, sisters, brother-in-laws that were there and wonderful, I just still couldn't get out of my slump. So I decided, let me try to go back to church. I pulled up to church. I was running late, so I parked in the side parking lot to go in the front door, which I usually don't. I usually go in the back door. I opened the door and my car door almost hit this tree, cut off at the top. And when I looked at it, I was like, well, that was not smart. Why didn't they cut it off at the bottom? It's not gonna grow, it's a dead tree. So a couple months later, I came back and was just drawn to park in that spot. I was thinking about that tree, and sure enough, it was still there, but it had green leaves growing out of the top. And it was very, very unique, so I took a picture of it and still thought, why did they leave this tree? It's not gonna grow into a tree, even though it is kind of cool looking. So I went into church and I was still feeling very depressed and didn't really think much about that tree, but I just kept being drawn back to that tree. And the next time I parked by it, it had sprouted the branches and there was green leaves on it. And I was like, wow, whoever didn't cut that tree knew more about trees than I did. Went into church thinking about that tree. I don't even think I heard the sermon thinking about the tree. Went back out, took a picture of it, but didn't relate it to anything really in my life. Then months go by, come back to the tree, and it had beautiful white flowers on it. So I started thinking about this tree and how it bloomed and how God obviously knew this tree was going to become something. And with His help and sunshine and rain, this tree grew into a beautiful tree all over again. It had a second chance. And I started thinking of my life and how I was so depressed, but thinking of myself as this tree. God was going to help me get through this situation that I was in. And not that I had to go to church to do that, but I just found joy in coming to church and realized that you have to look for God to give you a sign. Sometimes it's not going to just drop in front of you. I went by the tree a couple times, didn't relate it to me, but then when I sat and really thought about it, that tree and myself went through the same type of situation. So now I spend more time looking at things and paying attention and hearing things and listen to what God's telling me. And if you don't listen, you might miss a lot of things. And it just enriched my life, and I'm involved in the church much more now, and I'm a happier person, and I'm just thrilled to be back with the church. My parents and my entire family are still very close. We would go on vacation with my parents. I have 3 sisters. I have brother-in-laws, nieces, nephews, and we all did everything as a vacation. Good time, family, outings, all kinds of things like that. So when they left, it was very upsetting in such a short time, both of them. So I was kind of depressed that they died at not even being 80, but I learned that I should be happy and thankful that God gave them to us for the amount of time that they did and allowed us to have the close relationship that we did, having a great childhood, just great family. They brought us up. We all turned out, I think, really, really well. So now I'm just happy that I had them and look back and can laugh at all the stories and all the things that I'm just happy that God gave us the family that we had.